such a... It's time to start Dishin Days with your hosts, Tony Moore, Michael Mattis, Justin Lee Hareld, and Araceli Aviles. And now, let's dish. Why, hello, everyone. Happy Sunday. Welcome to Dishin Days, where we're serving up a full dish of this week's episodes of Peacock's exclusive #1 award-winning hit soap opera, Days of Our Lives. If you haven't already, make sure you like us and follow us on all social media platforms. We are Dishin Days Show on Facebook and Dishin Days on Instagram, Twitter, X, and Threads. Also, if you are tuning in on our YouTube channel and you have not subscribed yet, hit the button. Go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hit the bell notification. That way you'll never miss when we're going live, or you can look around for previous shows, previous interviews from the Daytime Emmys, from Day of Days. Just have yourself a good old Dishin time.
A gay old time.
Channel. Yeah, because it is pretty gay.
Gay.
Yeah. You know what Dishin Days is?
Gay.
Exactly. So subscribe to our YouTube channel and take a look around. Hang out with us for a bit. And if you would like to be a part of our exclusive members only exclusive page, go ahead and join our members only page, where you can see some exclusive, before anyone else does, clips provided by one Justin Lee Hareld, who does a deep dive into Those Were the Days. And then we get a little spicy and sassy with our Tia Araceli Aviles, who is giving Salemites some much needed advice. Plus, you can hang with us in our virtual events. I would say they happen monthly, but today we took a month off, but we'll be back next month. So go ahead, sign up and become an exclusive member of Dishin Days. Speaking of exclusivity, why don't you head over to your favorite podcast station? I don't know how that transitioned. Go ahead and head over to your favorite podcast station and find us over there. We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. In case you need to take us on a long drive, or maybe you are going from coast to coast and need to catch up on all the stunt shows and shenanigans that happened in Salem this week, never fear, because your Dishin Days hosts are here. Take us along with you on your favorite podcast station. Just look up Dishin Days and we'll be right there to recap it all for you. Also, show some love to our former co-host and my chocolate twin, Mr. James Lott Jr. over at JLJ Media, who is serving up a couple of forks, knives, and spoons of his own. Check out the rest of your soap opera fix, including General Hospital, Young and the Restless, and Bold and the Beautiful, where JLJ is breaking it down and giving you a discussion/recap of all that happened in the other cities on the other soaps. Plus, you can check out his original audio dramas, starring, produced, created, directed by Mr. James Lott Jr. JLJ Media on YouTube and on your favorite podcast stations. Go check him out. Show him some love. We appreciate you. Oh, wait, is that it? Oh, that is it. Yay.
You said you didn't make an old joke, did you?
I didn't. I actually skipped the old joke. You know, nothing new today. So, but we'll move it on. What do we think about this week's episodes of Days?
It's a good week.
Yeah, it was a pretty good week. Yeah.
I was not fully entertained until like Friday. There's one storyline that kept me going through the week, and then if everything happened on Friday, I was like, why did everything happen in one day?
Yeah, it definitely picked up the back half of the week versus the front half of the week. But yeah,
it was a good.
Yeah.
You
know, we were there. You know,
we know it all too well.
Some things started, some things ended, some things are still going and pending.
So, I had a revelation in my mind this week about something.
Oh, okay. All right.
What's that?
About one of the stories and who did what to someone else.
Okie dokie.
And I was like, oh, I was kind of disappointed. If that is in fact where they go, I'll be a little disappointed. But
On which storyline?
EJ.
Okay. Well, we'll get there and we'll talk about it. But in the meantime, let's go to our favorite part of the show. Well, one of our favorite parts of the show. Well, the funniest part of the show, where we try to do this together, shall we? Let's break it on down, everybody. It is now time to start.
Dishin Days.
Aren't we supposed to flip it?
I mean, yeah, but the flipping happens off camera. Do you want me to? In all this time, she's never asked this question.
Can we go?
I love it.
Does
You
a
know what
flip
it
happen
is?
if it's off camera?
it always counts when it's off camera. All right, y'all. Let's kick things off with our top storyline, which is Baby Girl Black. And by Baby Girl Black, that is the last name of the baby. And to shed more light on this storyline, we have with us the one, the only Miss Sophia Choi. She is Miss making her Dishin Days debut, Rachel Boyd, everybody! Yay! All right, Rachel, welcome to our fun, spooky, shady, lovable show that we call Dishin Days.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Of course. Okay, first of all, before we get into anything, we have to give you all the props, all the kudos, because you have been doing amazing with this storyline. We've talked about it on the show, just how we don't know where you pull it from. We don't know, as an actress, where you're getting the emotions and things from, but you have taken us on such an amazing journey with Sophia, and especially with the birth of the baby, the adoption of the baby, the fake pregnancy of it all. Like, it has, just kudos to you. Kudos to you, girl.
Thank you
Kudos.
so much.
Amazing. We said you need to pin the past few weeks' episodes so that you can submit this to the Daytime Emmys for next year, so that we can get you nominated as emerging talent.
And also review the reel before they send it in.
Not shady.
Hard-learned lessons.
Yeah,
Was that shady? Is that the shady part of the show?
A little bit, but there's definitely more to come, I'm sure.
Well, thank you guys so much. That's really sweet of you to say. I kudos to the writers and the fans and the cast and the crew and just everyone making the whole environment so welcoming and friendly for me to be able to explore being so open emotionally and all of those things. So it's really been a testament to the whole community and everything.
Yes. And you also got kudos from my mother, who watches the show as well.
Oh,
She says,
gosh.
Rachel, you are killing it. Love it so much. So,
thank you to your mother.
Also, our chat is honestly, we have guests on all the time, and I feel like this is the first time our chat has literally been get to Rachel, bring her on. Where is she?
Really? I
they've been
that is very
loud.
interested in seeing you.
There's a lot of capitalization and exclamation points going on here.
Six stars. I'm yelling back.
So let's start at the beginning of this journey, because when we were first introduced to Sophia, someone else was playing Sophia. When you came a part of it, was there any worry, or were you nervous about taking over a role, even though Sophia was kind of there, but we were just getting to the beginnings of what we're in now? But did you have any concern or worry on jumping into the role and what the fans would think? What were your thoughts in the very beginning?
Oh my gosh. Well, the whole process of me getting this role and coming out, I'm Canadian and I live in Toronto, and I had auditioned for the role initially when they were initially casting for it. and I did a callback for it, and I didn't get the role, which is okay. And then it was like 9 months later that I got the call that they were recasting it and that they had remembered me and wanted me to come out. So it was a big, like, lots of changes all at once. I was going to move countries. It was my first time doing like a series regular role on a show. And when I had initially auditioned for it, it was just a scene between Holly and Sophia talking about Tate, you know, and I remembered that she had said she was like a ballerina at that time. I don't know if they ever did anything with that, but
they didn't.
And I had no idea what was going on in the storyline because they're so secretive about it. So I went and started doing like dance classes because I was like, am I gonna have to dance on this show? But then I found out, I think it was a couple weeks before I was coming out, the casting director called me and she said that I was going to come on the show 14 weeks pregnant. And I had no idea, like, anything that, because we filmed so far in advance, right? So I hadn't even actually seen anything that Madeline had done with the character on the show. And so it was a lot of filling in blanks for me. I remember I reached out to Leo Howard, and he and I did a FaceTime where he tried to catch me up a little bit. But I hadn't even really seen anything that she had done with the character before I started filming. I think I saw 1 or 2 episodes. So I know people are always saying there's like such a dramatic shift kind of between her portrayal to mine. But honestly, I think it's just like a testament to how honestly we both approached it, because I didn't even know what she had done with the character. But I think that the two approaches complement each other very well. So I'm happy.
I would agree. I would agree with that.
Yeah, that's so true. I was going to ask Rachel, going off of that question from Tony, because when we first sort of met Sophia, she's sort of morally gray a bit. And then I feel like when you came on, you really brought out sort of like the teenage sort of innocence of Sophia a bit. And so we were curious, now that you're saying that now, did Marnie or anyone else give you sort of instructions on how to play her, or this was just your take on how you saw her, maybe?
I was so surprised how much they really let me just be in the driver's seat for it. Nobody ever told me to approach it in a certain way. I think the way that I portray Sophia when I came onto the show is the same that I did in our audition. So I think that was maybe another color that they wanted to introduce with the opportunity of the recast process. So I think it worked out nicely. And again, she went through such a transformative thing in her life in general with the pregnancy and, not knowing what she's going to do with this baby and this pregnancy and kind of not having full control over that. I think it makes sense that, even some of the strongest and bravest and most vicious people, can get pushed into a corner and made to feel small and kind of reconnect with that innocence again. So I think it makes sense. Yeah.
How long so you auditioned, then 9 months later, hello, we want you to come, and you were in Toronto. How much time did you have between getting that call and then having to be in Burbank on stage and be Sophia? I'm always curious how much time they give y'all.
Well, because of I had to do the process of like moving countries. It did take a little bit longer, but I remember when I first got the call, it was like May 1st, and my shooting start date was supposed to be May 27th. Oh. And I was like, I have like whiplash. I like went to my manager. I was serving at my job when I got the call, and I went up to him and I'm like, I quit. I don't know what happened. I can't be here anymore. He was so supportive because he's like I've been working at that restaurant for so long, and he's supported my acting journey. So he was like, yeah, like get out of here, girl. It was really sweet.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So day one on set, you're playing a whole new person. You're playing pregnant. So that's a whole new experience in and of itself. How long did it take for you to get used to it? Because soaps, there's, you said this is your first real like contract role, and now it's on a soap that's a whole other beast.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to get like settled in? Getting there is whiplash enough, but then you get used to the shooting pace. How was that process for you?
Yeah, honestly, I think it was kind of a gift in a lot of ways that I didn't have a previous experience of working on a series in a more principal role, because at that point, you have so much material, but you know it all from the beginning, so you can kind of map out your arc. But with this show, obviously you don't know. Every time I get a script, I'm like, okay, this is what's happening. Like, that's like whiplash in itself. But yeah, so I think it was a lot of different adjustments all at once, but I did have the benefit of not really knowing a different routine to approach so much material all at once, that it was nice because I got to build it with this kind of structure, and not be so attached to any kind of outcome, and just be really fluid with whatever writing they gave me. And I know Sophia's core and foundation of her so well that that's what I invested in, so that no matter what they gave me, I was able to justify why she would do that, why she would say that, why she would want this relationship, and kind of just fully surrender to it and not repel it at all,
Yeah. Rachel, how would you describe Sophia? Like when you were first introduced to her and you started reading the scripts and knowing the storyline, like how did you see her, and how would, like if someone asked you, describe this character, like how would you describe Sophia?
Like when I first read the very first episode that she was going to be in, kind of.
Yeah, and then has it changed? Like now that you're more settled in it, from your first thoughts to now?
Yeah. Oh, that's such a good question. I remember my first thoughts. I liked how much initiative she was taking in terms of still carving out the path that she wanted for herself and for her future. Even though other avenues were closed off to her entirely, the fact that she was just kind of resilient to being told no, and she wants to make everything work. She also cares so much about the people in her life and the people that she loves and making them comfortable. I think I did have an initial thought at the beginning of like, this girl, she is more focused, I think, on making other people comfortable and happy than she is on herself, in a lot of different ways. But I think that what the pregnancy gave me the opportunity to explore as it went along to the birthing, and now kind of where she's at on the show, is that she's a lot more of a fighter for herself, because it's in the name of this little baby who she just loves and cares so much for and wants the best for. And through that experience has been able to say, I want the best for myself too, and I'm going to put my foot down on that too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Rich, I want to ask you about a particular scene that it kind of may seem innocuous, but I've been reading a lot, and it seems like we talked about it on the show, and it seems like fans have really responded to it. It's the 4th of July episode. It's with you at the end with the glow sticks, and you're up against the window. And people really respond to the scene. And again, like I said, we've talked about it before. What was the direction, and what was your take on that scene? Because I think people really responded to you, and they just, something about that scene really touched them, and the way you acted it. And it was just like a little bit of a turning point for Sophia, I think, in people's eyes. So if you can kind of go into that a little bit.
Oh, that's amazing to hear. I had no idea that was, I remember watching that episode and feeling like, yeah, this feels like a different shade of her, we don't get to see her a lot of times completely by herself. I know we had like the birthing episode where you got to see those shades of her, but I think what that moment was for me was she's always going to try and be happy. And I think it was, the way that they had edited those scenes together too, you see Tate and Holly and they're happy and they're having this romantic moment, and it's simultaneous because you see the fireworks going off with Sophia kind of just alone in her room. But instead of this being another sad moment for her, you see her kind of looking for for excitement and looking for hope and looking to be happy too. And she had those glow sticks, and I thought that was such a sweet that they wrote that in, and I thought the direction of shooting it through the window and like seeing her looking up, you know, with so much hope and just I think that scene's a great testament to the fact that she's not going to be taken down by the circumstances that she's put in. And that, again, like, she's still a kid and fireworks are exciting and glow sticks are fun. And, you know, you can't, you have to be able to empathize with that, you know, part of her too.
The scenes you just mentioned doing, you know, scenes alone. We've heard from actors before. I'm not an actor, so personal experience, not here, but that sometimes, you know, just another person's performance that you're acting with can bring out a performance in you that you may not have known there. But I feel like you did your most emotional work completely alone.
Yes.
Did you struggle with that a little bit because you didn't have anyone else to act with or react to? Or did that may have even helped you because you really brought out, like, I was like, this girl's really having this moment right now. And you know, just, and I can just imagine you just in that little set by yourself with just like the crew and the cameras around you. But do you feel like that was an advantage and that you know lended itself to you being able to perform that way? Or, you know, maybe a little insight on how it was just to be able to act like that alone?
Yeah, I remember getting that episode and reading it and being like, oh my gosh, this is really very I was flattered that they had written something so complex acting wise for me, because another thing about that episode is those are the moments of in between for her, right? I didn't get the opportunity to act out the birth or, you know, act out really giving the baby away, which are opportunities where you're so deeply connected to the circumstance in that moment that it comes naturally. But I was given these in-between moments and still having to honor, you know, what would have happened so that the audience can understand what she went through. And I was intimidated by that. But there were two films that I watched that helped me to connect, and one of them was Philomena with Dame Judi Dench, and she has she had her newborn baby taken from her, and it was like, I think 50 or 60 years later, she was still looking for him, and she had found out that he had passed away, and she was talking to somebody who knew him, and all they could tell her was, you know, he had a really strong handshake. And I just remember, like, in her eyes and her reaction, that she was just so proud to hear that and emotionally attached to that one little fact. And so I remember when they gave me the baby prop, I was looking at it and I was thinking in my head, like, I wonder if he'll have a strong handshake. And in that moment, it kind of clicked for me to endow the baby blanket prop with so much like love and symbolism for what it would mean to have to say goodbye, and be the person in the driver's seat of letting go for the greater good. And then the other movie was Garfield, actually. Because I like the movie Garfield, but there's like a sequence where Garfield's with his dad, and his dad goes to try and get him a fish, and they're just living behind a dumpster, and Garfield gets picked up as like a stray cat by this family. And so when his dad comes back, he has this fish for him, and he looks in the window, and it's baby Garfield with this whole family giving him so much love and so many fish. And that Garfield looks so happy, and that was the moment where the dad was like, I can't take away from him like what I'm not able to give him. And so I think it was those two things I was imagining, you know, being on the outside of a window looking in on a future for that baby. That was something Sophia just couldn't give to him, and she knew that, even though she loved him and wanted to provide. And yeah, so it was those two moments, honestly, that really connected for me. And just I did so much work leading up to that, because I knew that there would be a birth and something crazy would happen because it's the soap world. That I knew I would need to be very connected to a baby and know what that relationship would have to mean for her. So.
Yeah. Well, speaking of those baby scenes, I think we have Jen from Nashville, Tennessee, who has a question about that. Jen, hey.
Hey, Jen.
Oh,
you're muted.
Jen, are you on mute?
Are you on mute?
Oh, no, she's not.
Oh, can you hear us, Jen? Uh-oh. And we have tested this out and everything.
Maybe sign out and sign back in, maybe.
Yeah, sign out and sign back in. She was ready. See, technical difficulties.
Mercury's in retrograde.
Boy, do I know it.
I would know that.
Jen, nope. We still can't hear you. Come back in. Like leave the studio and then come back. Okay, we'll bring Jen from Nashville.
You sounded great before the show.
Yeah. We had talked before the show. She's come on and asked questions before. And then all of a sudden, see, it's Mercury. I don't know. Mercury going through Gatorade like really gets everybody. Like it's like, slow down, Miss Mercury. Okay, let's see. She is back. Let's see if this works. Jen, are you there? Hello?
No.
Oh, no. She's not.
Well,
Well,
what's going on here?
Type your question in the chat, Jen, and we'll make sure.
Well, her the question that she had, which I also have here. See, you always got to be prepared, just in case things go awry. But her question was, Rachel, what was your preparation to getting ready to film those baby delivery scenes? You kind of touched on like being inspired in the movies and things like that. But was there anything else that you did to prepare for those scenes? And the just in case scene, like if they were going to have you actually like giving birth, what did you do to prepare?
Well, for the giving birth, because I remember this show shoots in one shot, so I need to know what it's like to push out a baby. I was watching like these YouTube videos of like pregnancy vloggers that they vlog their pregnancies and their birthday videos. So I was able to get
that had to be fun.
On the sorry,
that had to be fun.
It actually was quite interesting. I could see why they're so popular, actually, because I was like, I'm so invested in this family and their emotional like moments together. But
the men's get scared.
Oh, okay.
Who? Not
we
me.
start bringing up the pain and the epidural and the fluids and such.
Oh yeah, I mean, they can't show all of that stuff on YouTube, so I got to just see the pretty parts of it and some of the like contractions beforehand. But in terms of like emotionally preparing too, like a big part of my process is music, and Sophia has a playlist on my phone, and there were certain songs I remember listening to songs that my parents had it told me were like their songs for me when I was a baby, like Baby Mine from Dumbo was my mom's song for me, and my dad, I think there's another song called Always Love You, and I just trying to connect again with that the love part of it more so than the loss, because when you fill yourself up, I guess, with so much love, and then you understand that the scene is that you're saying goodbye, everything else just comes and you don't have to practice that so much. But and we actually we shot a lot of those scenes in like less than one take. We would shoot the rehearsal of them because the director Angela Tesserani was she kind of knew that I was so in it that sometimes we would go through the rehearsals and she would be like, we got it, we taped it, you're good. And I was like, okay, great. And so we just kind of rolled with it like that, and it really was all just like one seamless scene kind of, instead of stop and go.
I have to say, those scenes were so beautiful and powerful. Just watching, everything from the water breaking, and then we didn't see the birth, but then like you holding the baby, and we saw everything of like, I it's like I want to keep you, but I know that's not the best option for me because I see a brighter future for me, and I don't want to do this to you because I want to make sure that you're taken care of, but I kind of have to do like that. We saw all of Sophia's like worries and thoughts and everything in that moment, and even afterwards, like dropping the baby off at the fire station, and then like coming home and just like crawling into bed and just kind of being alone and like in her moment. We all sat here that weekend was like, what an amazing person to be able to tell that story emotionally. Very few words, obviously, because it was really so good and such a moment. And I don't think any of us could have pictured what that moment was going to be like for Sophia when the birth actually happened. I think we all pictured like, oh my God, the water was going to break. You and Tate were going to rush off to the hospital and like all that. But we never would have guessed that like Sophia would have had to do it alone. And so it was such a riveting moment. And really, I think if anyone had any worry, doubt, or felt any sort of way about Sophia, I think in that moment, you allowed us to feel empathy for her, because it to be so young and to have to make such a choice like that by yourself it was moving. Like I can't say more than that. So like it was such a powerful moment. And even the events leading after, now that's when the real soap opera-ness of it all came in. Yeah, where it's like now we got the fake belly. Now we got Miranda a part of it. Wait, not Miranda. Melinda.
Yes, yeah.
We do that all the time.
I have been watching too many clips of Devil Wears Prada 2, and so
oh my gosh, great movie.
That whole movie's gonna be spoiled because
I know, right?
Everyone's out shooting him.
Side note,
it's the Cyberstock summer.
If you think about it, it's actually great marketing for the sequel. The fact that they're like showing clips and stuff and showing like them filming and stuff. Oh, like I see it as a marketing thing. Anyway, back to Days. But it's it's the soapiness of it all came in, and I was like, okay, now we've had a moment. Now we're moving on to like classic soap opera stuff. What was your reaction to that? What has your reaction been to like Sophia's storyline? Because as you said earlier, they keep everything really under wraps and they don't tell you a lot. But like when you finally get that script and you're like, okay, what's happening next with Sophia? Like, what was your initial reactions to what we're seeing now with the storyline?
Okay. Well, first of all, thank you so much for saying all of that. And honestly, something that I really like about the way that they write the show is, there are these crazy soapy like storylines and things that happen, but there are also those very human moments that you get where the audience gets to see, Sophia just as a kid who is, we can all relate to those moments where we're all alone and we're harboring a lot of, grief and sadness and guilt that you can't really share with the world. So I loved that. And then, obviously we have to go back into the soapiness of it all. I'm trying to remember what my reaction was. I feel like I wasn't surprised because I had heard all of the tales of the things that other actors on the show have done. I remember Lindsay Godfrey was like telling me about her baby storyline.
Oh gosh.
Before, and I was like, okay, I gotta be ready for anything. Like I have to let go of control here because I'm going on a ride. And so it was just really I guess kind of exciting and fun every time I got a script. I felt like I was like a fan of the show, like what's happening next. And yeah, I think what is it? I thought it's something. What was the question?
Oh, just your reaction to the storyline,
to where it's going. I'll follow up with I'll follow up with were you relieved? Was your body relieved to no longer have to carry the fake belly? Because we've had some conversations about, eventually, you get to the 8th month, the 9th month size, and you can't not have it put some weight on your back.
It's true. And by that size too, they were like really pinning me into it. So I couldn't take it off for the whole day. Even if I had breaks in filming, if I wanted to go to the commissary in like public, I would be in the baby belly, like 9 months pregnant. And it was nice to see the looks I would get. Oh yeah, like it is a little bit heavy, so my back hurts. I was like figuring out a way to take naps that were as comfortable. But I will say that because I came on the show and I was already in the belly, the beginning of the belly growth. That I had a really hard time letting it go. And I remember them being like, oh yeah, you don't have to wear the belly anymore because you gave birth. In the soap world, you can go from 9 months pregnant to just completely good again. And I was like, can I still, maybe she has to deflate, so can I just still wear like the first one again? And I did.
I noticed that. I'm appreciative of that actually, because that was the first time I was like, I know it's a soap. We don't stay true to life too often here. But on that, when they did that, and I noticed that she was still she still had a pooch, I was like, that's true to life. You don't just go from 9 months pregnant to like back to a size 2.
Yeah, it's true. And I was so attached to that, like to that having that almost like hug and like protectiveness around me. And so honestly, I think I keep it on for, at some point they were like, you really have to take it off anymore. You must not wear it anymore.
Yeah. Richard, I want to ask about, I know you have a very loving, close relationship with your own mom, but what was it like to sort of build this sort of like loving but adversarial relationship with Shani, who is very much unlike Amy Choi?
Yeah. Oh, Sheena, she is so great because she comes on the screen and she's got this great force and fierceness to her. And then in between takes and things, she's giving me a hug. She's like, are you okay? Are you good? We talk about our personal lives and we have a very personal relationship off of camera. So I think that helps to build the loving part into the foundation of their relationship, because as much as they butt heads, these are two people who really love each other. And and so that was what it was like for me working with her. She's great.
Yeah. There was a moment where I feel like where you were first introduced to us, because during one of our shows, I said, this is what Sophia needs to say to her mother.
I can recite this to you, Tony, if you want me to. Because you said Sophia should say, Mom, this is my baby. I'm the one who spread my legs for Tate. So I'm the one who gets to make the decisions about what happens to my baby. And somebody tagged me in a clip of this. Yes. I was watching it, and I was with my friends, and I was like, you guys have got to see this. This is great. I love this. It's exactly my perspective on it, to be honest. And so seeing that, I was like, yeah, Tony's going to be happy when he sees eventually Sophia's going to stick up the middle fingers.
When it was just a couple weeks ago, when you finally were like, I'm 18, I'm doing this. No, don't come to Chicago. Like, I was like, yes. I was like, this is what we've been waiting for Sophia to be like, look here, okay? Like, get your life. I got mine. All right.
Exactly. I made my decision, so I will make the rest of them.
Yes. Oh my God, Rachel, you just gave me life by reciting that whole thing. I love it. But I'm very happy that Sophia was finally, and it showed her growth too, as a person, of just being like, listen, I don't need you breathing down my back to make a decision on what I want to do with my baby. Because I felt like throughout this, whenever Sophia's mom came in, it was so tense because she had a vision of what she wanted for Sophia. And Tate and Sophia had a completely different vision that didn't include that baby. But, you know, it was like as a parent, you have to at some point look at your child and go, I raised you to make the best decision, and I just have to support you in that. But Mrs. Choi was like, let me tell you how this can go. We need you to, they need to be Christian. They need to be Bible read and ready. They need to be this and that. And I feel like Sophia was just waiting till wait till I turn 18. Wait till I turn 18. I'm gonna show you.
I think Sophia's had a lot of like boiling, and then it reaches a point, you know, where it all just goes over. At least that's my experience of making pasta and stuff, you know. But I think that there's a lot of those moments that happen with her, and this was definitely one of the first. And then, you know, as we go on, there's just, you know, I was happy when we were talking earlier about those scenes where you get to see Sophia alone in her space, and that the audience gets to see that, because the characters on the show, they don't know how deeply, you know, transformative and painful that experience was for her. Yeah. So where they might lack empathy because of their own, you know, perspectives and you know, what they want for themselves and their lives, I think the audience might be able to empathize a little bit more with how Sophia decides to respond.
I'm glad that you brought that up. Yeah.
Sorry. No, I was just gonna another example when a character had a scene by herself, which is related to the story. Tina, who plays Melinda, had her own little baby storyline. She didn't have the baby, but she facilitated a
stealing, right?
Yeah. And it was a scene, you know, she was pulling all these shenanigans, and she had a scene by herself with the baby. Similar to like the scene, like just with the baby in a room, probably a fake baby, most likely a fake baby. And that's when the empathy for that character came out. So I really saw kind of like a mirroring, and it was interesting how they put those two characters together too. I was like, oh, I see the connections here.
Yeah. And to, you know, touch on the mother and daughter dynamic, I think also with Melinda's character and Sophia's character, and how Melinda's had her own experience losing her daughter, and that she says she sees so much of herself in Sophia. I think that their relationship, at least in my eyes as the actor, is a very pseudo mother and daughter relationship, because Melinda provides her with support where Amy doesn't, right? And I think Sophia confuses that with genuine love and connection. So it's very interesting how that whole relationship blossoms.
You touched on the fact that you know, while we as an audience are super empathetic towards Sophia, because we see what she's going through right now, whereas the people on the canvas don't. They have no idea what she's been through up until this point. I want to touch on an important scene partner that you have, which is who is Tate, played by our lovely Howard.
Yes.
How in your mind, how does Sophia navigate this relationship and this relationship, because they work together, but they were not together, and he was supportive, but he wasn't supportive in the way that she necessarily needed. So how does she navigate, you know, going off of this week's scenes, how does she navigate, you know, just having a simple conversation with him?
Yeah, I loved this week's scenes with Tate and Sophia, where she goes to, you know, tell him that the baby is a girl and it's been born, and this whole big lie, because there was, you know, I think she, in a lot of ways, even though she's lying, she is giving him, you know, she wants for him to not experience that suffering and grief and guilt that she has and is harboring. And she cares about him so much as you know, somebody in her life who she loves, that she doesn't want him to feel those things. So in telling him this big fabricated story, and you know, she really goes into depth about who these parents are in a way that is what she wishes. Like, I think she's trying to give him the experience that she wishes she had in terms of like mentally being able to move on and process, even though maybe she isn't doing it in the right way. But I thought that those scenes were really great because Leo was able to tap into that, I guess, confusion and vulnerability. And, you know, there was Sophia trying to be very positive about it and concealing a lot of that same pain and vulnerability that she's feeling, but can't wear necessarily on the surface the way that she sees with him. So he's an amazing scene partner. I love working with Leo. And yeah, I remember us filming that day. It was, we felt like a real dynamic going on.
Yeah.
Nice.
I wanted Sophia to just look at Tate and be like, shut up and sign the papers.
Same.
Like you off here in the lake with your girlfriend. I'm over here pregnant, having babies, making decisions. Sign this paper.
And you know it was Tate that bought the cheap condoms, right?
Well, I mean, I wasn't there when they filmed that stuff, but
with the backstory, like, you know, within the, you know, it was his fault, you know. And he's sitting
Yeah.
there all, I'm not signing anything until, I had to say, I was like, shut up and sign him.
Yeah.
But then, you have to be like, oh, he, you know, you have to try to pull some empathy for him too. But yeah.
Well, no. Well, if he was so, I'm sorry. See, this is when
this is where the shady's coming in.
This is where the shade is coming in.
Honestly, this is where the honesty was too, because Sophia says to him, like, I did call you when I went into labor, but you were with Holly. Now, maybe that didn't happen just 24 hours before, but that did happen.
Yeah. Right.
So, you know, I think, there with Sophia too, it's like she protects a lot of people around her from this, like, she is building up, I think, a lot of wrath towards these types of situations the same way if you know, people watching the show are like, what the heck, this is so frustrating. I'm like, it's gonna hit up that boiling point, right?
Because there's a part where you do have that moment for Tate, like, oh, like, wish you could have been there. But then there's a moment of like, you around here with your girlfriend and moving on with your life as if you have no responsibility. Like, nobody told you to go to the lake. Sophia ain't been able to do nothing her senior year. She couldn't graduate because she was in the bed. She couldn't go to the lake. She couldn't go to the senior party. She couldn't go see the fireworks. She at home with a glow stick wishing upon a star. Like, and now you sitting here want to be like, but I'm not gonna sign the papers because of blah, 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 blah. It's like, no, bro, you've been living your life. Sign these papers so I can go live mine.
You know what? I think you should be a writer on the show because of that, along with the last thing. I think both of those things should have gone to air.
I was going to say, Rachel, you now have another monologue the next time you're on a show. We expect you to...
I'll memorize that one too. Yeah. Someone clip that for me.
Yeah. I mean, the strongest compliment that I can give, and this is my perspective, is that yesterday was National Ants Day for anybody who wasn't paying attention.
National Ant Day.
Yes. So the strongest compliment I think I could give your portrayal, Sophia, is the scenes the last month that you've had, which I think every single one should be in your Emmy reel for next year.
Thank you so much.
The one word that came to mind every time I see was, that's a mother. Mm. That's a mother. Someone who goes through every conceivable pain, emotional, physical, and pushes it down for the sake of her child. That's a mother.
Yeah.
That is like the greatest compliment I could hear, because honestly, so much of what I wanted to do justice to an experience that I didn't quite understand, because I have such a strong mother. I have such strong grandmothers and you know, my aunts and my whole family of women that and just so many women around the world that go through these experiences that seem, niche and soapy in some ways, but this specific storyline is actually quite universal. And and motherhood comes in so many different shapes. And just because Sophia doesn't want to raise that baby doesn't mean that she's not still a mother and still experiencing those feelings in motherhood. And I think mothers are the strongest people, and all they do is give love and be so selfless about it and protect everyone around them, and wear all of the armor to make sure that their little babies are going to be good and be happy. And I feel that from my mom all the time. So I knew that was how Sophia was feeling toward the babies. Thank you so much. It's an amazing compliment.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Now, where do you think Sophia got the picture of the adoptive parents with the baby?
I think she got her hands on like an AI.
Chat GPT'd it.
Yeah.
She's, can you make me a little baby with a family, please?
You can do that now.
It's so funny because like when she was like, I have a picture, I was like, no, wait a minute. And then she flashed a picture and I was like, now y'all really gonna believe this picture? This looks straight off of Google, like happy family with newborn baby.
No. She went to Ross or whatever Salem's Ross is. Went to the frame.
Took it out of the
Yeah, exactly. Like here.
It was very like Olin Mills. Yeah, very old school.
Melinda didn't oversee that part. She let me handle operations on the baby picture front. So that's what we got. But you know what? It's on them for buying it, I guess.
It
Sorry,
worked.
boys.
Yeah.
I outsmarted you.
I mean, no tea, no shade, but the pictures that we've seen the past few weeks have been interesting, like the one of Holly and Ari.
Kidnapped! I've seen this one too. They're like,
it's like I'm kidnapped, but make it fashion. It's like,
well, Days has a history with those photos. We know some of our favorites, the Gabby one, and then the one of all time, the what was it, Xander and Nicole one?
Oh, the Xander and Nicole one.
If you haven't seen them, Rachel will send them to you. They're hilarious.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'd love to see them.
Yes. Well, but before we let you go, because like again, we'll keep you here forever, and then we'll end up just talking. We do want to play a fun little game called Rachel's Take. That's right.
Not to be confused with Rachel's Tate.
Yeah, right. Because we all know at the moment it's not Tate, because Tate is being had by somebody else, but that's a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
But we want to get your take on some of Sophia's choices. Okay.
Okay.
Wait, did I miss something?
No, we'll explain it later.
It took him like doing 20 more seconds to get it.
Yeah, you'll get it. You'll get it later.
No, me. Other
oh,
side.
you.
I'm glad half of you guys got it, because I would have.
I had a Joey Tribbiani moment. Fine.
Okay.
Happens at my age.
That is what my English teacher would call punny.
Okay, so Rachel, who do you think would be best for Sophia? Tate or Aaron?
Oh, okay. I think that, what I think Sophia needs is she needs somebody who's going to give her the love that she gives them. And Tate has had his opportunity. He is not delivering. So I would venture to say that Aaron, I think maybe, I don't know, maybe I would hope, you know, somebody will love her.
He did earlier say that he thought like he did have feelings for Sophia, and he thought like they would get together. And I think we were all like, there was a moment where we were rooting for Tate and Sophia because no tea, no shade. I feel like you always have to say that before you say something shady. Like we're we're over Tate and Holly. Like they like for them to be so young, they have been through a lot.
Maybe they're trauma bonded, and that's why
Maybe.
they keep going back to each other.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Messy parents.
Yeah, Sophia said, "I'm an exit stage left on this. Like you can."
I think if I was to, I don't know. I mean, Sophia is like begging to stay center stage, but if I were her, I'd be like, Sophia, like curtain call. Let's get a new man out here and focus on that. I don't know.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Now,
great guy, wrong timing.
Yeah.
Exactly. He's awesome.
Now, with everything that has transpired, like, you know, before all of the shenanigans happened, Holly and Sophia had a great friendship. Do you think that Holly and Sophia could maintain a friendship again?
I think what I love that I know I didn't get to explore that. It was the previous actress that got to do those scenes with Ashley, but I think what's so interesting about having them go from best friends to this enemies thing is that everything that they do and they say to each other, no matter how vicious or meaner it is, it's all rooted in love, because they did love each other at one point and care for each other deeply. And, you know, those are the only people that can really hurt you, right? When or people who you love and you care about. So I think that's been interesting to explore. And I have always said from the beginning, like a storyline where Holly and Sophia come back together and just say, you know what, this happened, let's put it behind us and let's go girls club. Like I would back 100%. I think that would be amazing full circle moment.
Yes, agreed. Like I feel like, you know, once the dust settles, it's like, you know, and we get Sophia a man, it could be like, all right, girl, like we could go out on a double date to the lake.
Honestly.
Yeah.
If that was an option in the first one, I should go to therapy.
I mean, listen, I think everyone in Salem needs a therapist besides Dr. Marlena Evans. Like she needs a break.
She's working overtime.
She really is. Okay,
even the therapist would say buds over studs.
Okay. Okay, last question. Do you think Sophia should have kept the baby or did it the way that she did?
I think that had Sophia been, I think that
that pause and smile was like
no tea, no shade.
But now bring the shade.
Sophia should have been allowed to make whatever her initial decision was, because your initial reactions, your gut reactions are very true and honest. And she knew herself well enough in that moment to know what she wanted. And nobody should have stood in the way of that, because then she would have never had to come to this crossroads and deeply traumatic decision that she had to make and go through with. Though I do think that she knew from the very beginning she did not want to be a mother, like, and raise a baby. And any decision that she wanted to make should have been allowed. But yeah.
Thank you, Rachel. And that was Rachel's take, everybody. This just came to mind. The note that was written for the baby. Did you write it, or did you open the book and it was like, oh, it's already written, I just got to read it?
It was already written, like in the script what it was. And so when I showed up, it was pre-written like that. Yeah. So I didn't get to contribute to that note, but I did, in my preparation across the whole pregnancy, write my baby many notes. So just like a part of what I would do to try and build that connection as she went along, and as I was on this journey of filming and so many different things happening to me. And that's probably why I had such a hard time letting go of the freaking baby belly.
Yeah. But also, I think it comes to mind, like, knowing that you personally, just as an actress, to really get those feelings and emotions, like, wrote letters. It now puts into perspective the scene with Leo and Javi, and Sophia seeing the baby. And it was such a moment of, I'm playing it cool because I know this is my baby, but inside I am just an emotional wreck, but I got to keep it together because I can't let them know that I'm the one that dropped it off. But I'm so glad to see that the baby is healthy, and just seeing all of that in that and how you portrayed that, just even saying that just puts everything into perspective. And again, just kudos to you, because that had to have been a strong moment and a strong feeling to like know that the baby that you gave away, and being able to see the baby again and hear the laugh, and like know that they're well taken care of, and they're adjusting, and that they're not somewhere just in the system or someplace bad off. I feel like as a mother who had to go through that, just being able to know that the baby is fine that was such a journey. So like kudos to you for that too, for expressing that scene as well as you did.
Thank you. Yeah, there was no way she was going to be able to see and not go over. Araceli, you talk about those motherly instincts, right? Like she needs to go over, like, is he okay? Like, what formula is he on? What's going on here? Yeah. So that was a great scene. And I remember before we shot it in my Sophia album, there's a John Mayer song, I think it's called You're Gonna Live Forever in Me. And it was just like evoke that feeling of like, she had to be okay with all of that love that she had for the baby, just having to be inside of her and live inside of her, and not be able to kind of wear that on the outside. But
yeah. Oh my goodness. Oh, just kudos to you, Rachel. You are amazing.
Love it.
Well, we are super excited to see what happens in the future with Sophia. We always end our interviews this way, and it's the safest way, but also the most intriguing way. If you could give one word as to what things look like in the future for Sophia, what would that one word be?
Explosive.
Ooh.
And like without hesitation, it's like baby, explosive. Get into it. Wait till you see it. It's about to get good.
That's what that's what it is.
Okay. All right. Well, listen. Well, we will wait for explosive. It goes with it. Does it come with a glow stick?
I hope so. I honestly, when we were filming it, I broke the first one. It was like, over another.
I know on days the explosive could be literal too.
Yeah, so don't go for dynamite.
Yeah, right.
That's true. She's like that. She said, y'all said one word, and that's all you get. So take with that my lips are sealed. Well, Rachel, thank you so much for coming on. This has been such a joy to be able to talk to you about Sophia, and just get to know you as well. So thank you so much for coming on and joining our fun, wacky, shady show.
Thank you guys so much for having me. This was so much fun. I had a blast.
Yay! Well, as things progress, we are definitely going to have you back on so that we can chit chat and talk about what's coming up with Sophia.
Okay, sounds good.
Day of Days, if whenever that may happen.
Oh yeah, that would be great. It'd be a great opportunity to meet everybody.
Yes. Well, thank you again, Rachel. Enjoy the day, and we can't wait.
Bye.
Thanks so much. Bye.
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 Oh my gosh, she is so great.
Yeah.
I love how she gave face as she signed off too.
Yeah, right.
She was like,
you got to say anything.
Gorgeous though, gorgeous.
Sweet. And she had a nice little setup and everything.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my god. But she's such a talent, such an amazing talent. Like, I mean, to know
she did
that
her work, like
yes,
she did her work in that,
which further explains why we were able to really connect with her, because she has done the work so that she can take us on this journey, and that's why
it came off as authentic.
Yeah. And that's why all the time I want to tell off Tate, because Tate is doing team too much. You can't be the baby daddy and somebody boyfriend at the same time.
I know.
You can, but not well.
Say what?
You can, but not well.
He can't. He's just like his daddy. Anyway, yeah. Tate this week was, like you said, Tony, sign the paper.
But yeah,
sign the paper and
baby, sign this paper. So
I had the Abby Lee Miller in my head. Stop crying. Like he started crying. I was like, stop crying.
Like, I'm the one that had most. Yeah, how am I the one that had the most empathy for that?
Yeah,
moment?
no, I was with him. I wish we got that Tate more during, because I feel like that's something we've complained about, like having his perspective. It was nice to see it at the end. I just wish we got it more throughout the.
Yeah, it was wishy-washy up until this point.
Yeah,
and it's too late. Like, you know what? Too little, too late, dude.
You had all this time to set a firm emotion on this, and you didn't.
And also, you like he should have been ready. Like, like she about to have the baby any minute, and you just I mean, I know like she was kidnapped and all that kind of stuff, you know. But you should have had your phone like on the ready.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Not like a whole day later. She done had the baby, washed it up, found a picture, and like came back with some bagels.
Well,
yeah. Like this isn't the 90s anymore where you have to like find somebody's pager number and then wait for them to call you back.
Find somebody's pager number.
Yes. Yeah. This may or may not be based on a true story. But yes. And then wait hours for someone to finally pick up the damn phone and say, hey, my water broke. But no, everybody has tracking on everybody now. The people know within seconds if you're in labor. You know, there's no excuse.
Yeah. I just I do wonder though, like where the storyline is headed, because now Sarah is on high alert because she's like, wait a minute, Sophia had a baby boy. She talking about it was a girl. HIPAA. Well, HIPAA, but also Sarah, you got a whole nother issue going on.
Keep your nose out of it.
With Sarah's history of keeping secrets and the result of keeping secrets, she should have looked at that iPad, closed it, and acted like she didn't see it. Like, just don't, girl. You plenty of fish to fry. Just leave it alone.
It's
but we know that's probably not going to happen.
Not your business.
Go about your business. There's nothing to see here.
Yeah, I think it's gonna depend how close this whole like Sarah Brady thing is gonna be. I feel like that's gonna be the factor.
Yeah. All right. Well, in my opinion, the sex of the baby isn't completely 100% until they are born. Oh, well, true.
Well, no.
And even then, it could change.
The sex doesn't usually change from us once you do an ultrasound.
Yeah, no. I mean, like,
the biological gender.
Yes. Biological gender does not change. If you're talking about like fetal abnormalities, even that would be seen on an ultrasound.
I mean, I don't know. I haven't been pregnant. I had a scare once, but I've been pregnant.
It was just gas.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to our next top storyline, which is The People versus Johnny Demera. Yep, that sounds about right.
It was just a lot of this story until like the end of the week, and Marlena had her fainting spell. It just seemed like it was similar conversations happening over again, like Johnny and Chanel. You didn't do it, and I know you didn't do it, and we're gonna support each other. Okay, great. We heard that last week. Good. And then they went and banged or something. I don't know, because she got Randy. And then EJ had his hypnosis session. Can't see who the shooter was, and I'm like, okay.
I actually thought he was going to pretend like he was under hypnosis and name Chanel.
Oh, see, I thought maybe he was pretending he didn't see. I thought maybe he was pretending that he couldn't see it, that he actually could see who the shooter was and is just keeping it quiet.
No.
I don't trust that man.
His subconscious. Okay, yes, we've been through this. We've been through the EJ set up his own shooting scenario. We've been through the EJ's covering someone. That's not the case. Let it go. The reality is the most likely scenario based on this week's lack of suspects is that EJ, we know for a fact EJ saw who the shooter was. EJ's subconscious is not allowing him to remember whose face was on the other end of that gun. Ergo, the shooter is someone EJ not only knows but cares about.
Yeah.
As the reality is, that's probably only a handful of people, because while there might be a lot of people in EJ's orbit and there might be a lot of Damaras running around, there's probably only a handful of people in EJ's life who could shoot him and scare him that much.
Well, I would think the gun would scare him more than anything.
No, but that's not what's scaring him, because he can see the gun. He can't see the face of the shooter. The gun. He said that this week.
He saw it in the moment, but is blocking it out because that part of it was more traumatic than the actual.
Yeah, the identity of the person is traumatic. Not
Which, replaying that clip back, it comes across as someone that he was shocked was there, and then shocked that they had a gun, and before he could process anything, he was like shot and laying on the ground. Mm-hmm. So we are still at a standstill or on who done shot EJ. We know it's not Johnny. We know it's not Chanel, but
we don't have an explanation yet of how the Chanel video came to be.
Yeah,
I feel like it's AI.
It's well, no, it was what's her face,
Rita,
and what's her face with some AI or some editing or video photoshopping that did that. It just hasn't been set up.
Hasn't been.
I think we have what I think right now is we have a red herring who they've kind of, we think it might be, but then I think there's now 3 other possibilities. Because I started when I was watching it this week, I was like, oh, that would kind of be a twist, but then I'm like, it's been done before and it would be kind of a repeat. So
I think we're thinking the same person.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So then we all must be thinking the same person.
I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
It's a possibility, but I think their general consensus is that the suspect list is getting tighter in our minds in terms of the characteristics that we put out there, but we're loath to say a name at this point because we've said all of the names of the people who are currently on the canvas. Let's put it that way.
Can we? Okay. In our private chat that we have on here, will everyone name who at this moment they think is going to be the person who shot EJ? And I feel like we will, like, when it's actually revealed.
Wow, we have so many different. Wow.
Okay, I kind of was at the end of it. I was kind of thinking you were thinking that Araceli. Yeah.
Yeah, I flipped.
Oh, Tony. Oh, I did. Wait, you're. Oh, okay.
Okay, never mind. We were not at all in a.
None of us were on the same page. I don't know.
And yet we can. And yet I think
I'm gonna screenshot this.
And yet I think we all. I can see where each of these answers, as wild as they are, would have valid reasons. I can. Yes. I see the names. Just so you know, like, no, we're not going to be naming them right now. We'll come back to it at another time. But yeah, I think we have there are valid points for each of them, and none of us said the same person.
No, and we all surprised each other. We were like, wait, what? Whoa!
Yeah, that was It was a little wild.
It has to be somebody that like the one. that was mentioned is not.
Which one?
Huh?
The one that was not mentioned?
No, one. Okay, there was one that was mentioned
Mhm.
that I definitely don't want it to be because they don't have a presence right now. I don't want it to be somebody who we haven't seen in a while. I want it to be somebody who's been. They got to give us that satisfaction.
Yeah, and I totally
someone out of left field and have that be no.
Yeah, and I totally get that perspective. We've talked about that, how we don't want the shooter to be someone who's not currently on the canvas. It's just at this point, they're, like I said, the list, we've gone through everybody who's currently on the canvas, and while everybody had valid reason, it seems like the characteristics of the shooter that EJ is remembering are very unique.
I am making a folder on my desktop that says who done shot EJ guesses. And I'm going to put this screenshot in this folder so that, one, I don't forget.
Mama Moore.
What did my mom say?
Listen, that's not so crazy after this week.
It's not crazy. It's not crazy, but I feel like after 11 years, we can let Stefano or Steveno or whoever.
I was going to say, is it Stefano or is it Steveno, Mama Moore?
Stefano.
Jesus.
Lord.
Yeah. That's not to say that the Phoenix's influence can't necessarily have something to do with said current storyline. These are just, we're still in the building block stages, unfortunately, which is why it's taking forever.
It's just going to be very interesting because now with the addition of Susan and Susan coming in with her heebie-jeebies, and feeling like these, which I think. I don't know. It's weird because like Susan is picking. I can't tell if she's picking up on who shot EJ or just vibes for like a different story. But her psychic stuff is probably working overtime because with her confrontation with Gabby, her feeling the heebie-jeebies from Marlena, and then Marlena, which I don't know. I love when they do flashbacks. And when Rachel came in and was like, will you read me a story? And it was like 1,000 Arabian Nights. I was like, ooh. And then when Marlena went to bed and she was remembering, I guess, the Arabian Night that was set up back in the day for her, I was like, where are we going? I love a flashback, but where are we going?
Yeah.
What's about to happen?
Yeah.
I don't know where this is going. We saw it was part of what, the winter preview?
Okay, so this seems to be harkening back to the, Stefano's favorite nickname for Marlena was the Queen of the Night, but I was not watching that particular storyline. Can somebody catch me up on what that was?
Or her being called Queen of the Night?
Yes.
So it was in the summer-ish of 1994, just coming off of like Roman had left, John and Kristen were together, Marlena was alone living in the penthouse, Stefano bought the condo next to hers and was essentially taking her at night, and I can't remember if he was drugging her to like put her in a, but the whole storyline was like, oh, I'm so tired all the time, oh, I'm just like so blah blah blah, and it was because Stefano, she was walking through her armoire. She had an armoire in the bedroom. She would walk through the armoire and be in that setting that they showed the flashbacks. And then they would have these evenings, and then she would go back, fall asleep, wake up, and just be tired and not really, I don't think she remembered it. But then that's also what brought her defenses down so that the devil could
Yeah.
come
Yep.
and take over her body.
So this part was the beginning of that storyline.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah,
It led
okay.
into it, yeah.
Okay, all right, yeah. Sorry, I was busy watching Sesame Street.
Still,
I act like.
I mean,
At
she's
that
younger than us.
time-
In 1994, she was like 9.
No, not that old were you?
I was 2.
Yeah, she's younger than that.
in 1994, you were 2.
I was 2.
Yeah. How old do you think Araceli is?
I mean, I just didn't do. I was like, she's 30, but I didn't do the math right. I still think 1994 was 20 years ago, and it wasn't.
Yeah, that's why. I'm like, wait, what are you guys talking about?
I'm like,
Oh,
yeah, you know,
she's
15,
8.
20 years ago, 1994, right? Oh, girl.
Yeah. And Barney and the Puzzle Place. I really was a PBS kid for a while.
The Wiggles.
The Wiggles was not PBS.
Was that around then? I don't know.
No, that's jumping like 8 years ahead.
Oh, whatever. Anyway, that was the Queen of the Night storyline, and it led into Marlena getting possessed. And at one point, you know, when they found out what Stefano was doing, they blamed Stefano for her getting possessed. And then at one point, Marlena was possessed and threw Stefano off a balcony. Yeah. Just all snowballs.
So so it seems like they do have plenty of material to choose from to do that, because the devil storyline we've been there, done that 3 times now. So we're going seems like they're going back to a time when actually this makes a lot of sense, because as you said, Michael, that was a time when Roman was gone, John was gone, Marlena was very much alone, and it seems like now bringing that back is smart, because this is almost the same state that she was in then. She
had a traumatic event, and now she's alone. Now what they're gonna make of this, I couldn't tell you. But yeah, it's nice that we can see them shifting to other things now.
Yeah, I can see the possibility in it. Yeah. But they should have called Susan a lot sooner to pivot. Yeah. Susan should have been the first call when we started taking dead end after dead end. In fact, why didn't EJ make this call? I mean, I'm really happy that Chanel.
Can I say something? Do we remember when EJ got shot? Susan was one of the first calls, and she didn't respond.
Oh,
she didn't show up till like day 2, day 3. What was she doing?
We'll see. But in the meantime, Susan should have been when you exhaust all viable leads and options, you do have to start thinking out of the box, as Chanel said. And I'm glad that Chanel has such a comfortable relationship with Susan. It's like, hey, I need a favor.
I liked it. I mean, the real reason is no one takes Susan seriously. They patronize her and they love her, but they don't take her seriously. I think this was a nice switch when she showed up, and it wasn't just she's there for the trial. She's there because Chanel called her, which I thought was a nice little twist, of integrating them together. Yeah, we'll see. I mean,
if anything, I would be pounding Johnny on the head, because if not for Grandma Susan, he would still be possessed by the devil.
The psychics on this show never get any respect.
They don't.
It happened to Celeste. It's happening to Susan. Nobody ever believed Celeste, even though every goddamn time she was right. And it was always, Mom, you were right. Celeste, you were right. And she's like, duh, bitch, I'm right every time.
Yeah.
Maybe listen to me. Maybe listen to me earlier.
I'm getting a premonition, darling.
You're in
great
taste. The death card. Every time she got those cards out, I'm like, the last one's gonna be the death card, and she's gonna be. And I'm like, let me guess, the death card. Yep, death card.
The problem isn't that they don't take Susan seriously. The problem is that they because she's psychic, they want her to have the A, B, and C of who did it and why they do it and what time they did it. And she's like, that's not how this works.
Right. She goes off of vibes.
Yeah.
No, what was it? No blank, just vibes. No drama, just vibes.
Yes.
I think so. Yeah, I think that's how it goes.
Yeah. Look, I can get you there, but don't expect me to do all the work.
Right.
That's what she said.
All right. Well, we're gonna see how this whole trial plays out. I mean, I feel like at this point, it's just really to show that Johnny didn't do it and to pin it on someone. So we'll see. Let's move on to our next top storyline, which is So Long, Doug. Are we sad that Doug is gone?
I'm disappointed that they didn't make better use of this character and this actor while they had him. They just kind of put him in this never-ending storyline of owing money to these loan sharks, and now it's continuing because apparently the money that Tate gave him was taken and not paid off, so he still owes this money. But
Julie's gonna pay for it.
Yeah. Well, I was getting to that. I did appreciate that he and Julie like made amends, and that Julie kind of relented and he was able to get the necklace back, and that kind of was tied up a little bit. I appreciated that they didn't just let Doug leave without that kind of closure with Julie. I don't know what it was. I just kind of appreciate it, and he was able to leave like on a somewhat positive note, at least with Julie. I know the two girls want nothing to do with him and think he's trash, rightfully so, but at least and that kind of leaves it like he didn't leave in all disgrace. Like he'd be welcome back. So but yeah, I do think they had potential with this character and just didn't know what to do, or for whatever reason just couldn't make it happen.
I wish that the reconciliation between Doug the third and Julie happened sooner. I do feel like there could have been a lot of storyline with Doug, including maybe some sort of interesting triangle square between Ari, Holly, Tate, and Ari. Like
it could have been glorious.
That could have been interesting. Just him being such a legacy, like stem from like a legacy person. I also found it interesting you've hated him this whole time. And then gave him a pocket watch.
That was a little too quick for my taste. I guess I appreciated it as he, I appreciated the bittersweetness as he was walking out the door, but at the same time, that was very quick for a woman who's been for the last few months just like not giving him an inch.
And just not being understanding, because I mean, she too stole. Doug was a con artist, so it's just kind of like, how is what he's done so unforgivable when he even tried to like fix the problem, which in the end he did. He got the necklace back for her, and went about his business. But I don't know. It's just sad because, like, I mean, first of all, Payne Meyer, I mean, easy on the eyes, but yeah, I feel like there's a lot, and they still will not say how much he owes them people. Because I literally leaned into the TV when she was like, I'll pay off the loan shark. Just tell me, like, how much it is. And I was like, okay. And I was like, we still don't get to know. We still don't get to know how much this man owes these folks to where they are going after him and then done kidnap Holly and
that's
Ari.
Just another disconnect in this storyline about why that amount, like, that's such a minute detail. It wouldn't deserve the storyline for the viewer to know. So hopefully if in the future they bring the character and this actor back, they have a more fleshed out cohesive storyline for him, because this one was just kind of wasted.
Yeah.
It was wasted.
And in terms of Julie, like everyone's saying, oh, Julie was only nice to him because he gave the necklace back. In my mind, I took it that Julie had it in her that she wanted. I took it as like she wanted to maybe forgive him, but was just standing because she felt like, you get like that. No, they can't make it right. No, I'm not going to do it. And then finally, once a gesture is made, that's when you're able to, and it's not necessarily a superficial thing. It's just that they felt like they needed to stand firm and they just needed a little chip away. And that, I appreciated it. It should have happened. I agree. It should have happened sooner, but I appreciate that they did let it happen before the character left.
Yeah. There's also that, I mean, it's even more of a disconnect that, he returns the necklace and, she's all about, he's a thief. And then she lets him go with Doug Sr.'s priceless World War II watch. Like,
and in my mind, I was like, he gonna pawn it.
I didn't think that, but my hope is that, we've talked about this before with other characters. Sometimes it's right character, wrong timing for whatever reason. I think our collective hope is that they planted enough breadcrumbs, enough seeds in Friday's scenes between Doug III and Julie that from them some sort of flowers will grow, and down the line maybe we can revisit this.
Yeah. I suddenly pictured him coming back in town, and the first shot is of the pocket watch.
Mm-hmm. Probably.
I could totally see that. I would love it.
I really hated to see Doug go. I did. I was just like, oh, this is so sad.
Because Peyton had a good rapport with everybody. Like he kind of came in, and that actor's never done a soap before, and I don't know. I felt like he was a nice addition.
Yeah. Rife with potential, maybe just bad timing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. He was great. The character was great. Wasted. I mean, when you think about it, it's sad because he was gone before he aired.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not true. I feel like that has nothing to do with how the character's even perceived by the audience at that point. If they're already gone, that to me says that is a writing thing. That is stuff behind the scenes that are going on that, either they didn't know what to do, or with the writing switch, there wasn't interest in the character. But I think the character's a lot of potential, and hopefully they bring him back, whether it's this actor or someone else in the near future, or, let him rest for a little while and bring him back.
Mm-hmm.
With all debts paid off.
Yes.
No more debt.
Yeah.
No more loan sharks. No more debt.
Yeah.
No more thievery.
Mm-hmm.
No. But I am glad that Ari and Holly made it out, even though Ari took one for Holly was like, Holly was just basically like, all right, girl, you go ahead. Yeah. What's around there? Oh. Like there was never a moment where she was like, okay, I'm coming in behind you. She was like, you let me know when you get to the other side. And then I'll start. And then she was like, I'm stuck. And then all of a sudden Tate came running in and she was like, yeah, all right, bye.
That being said, I appreciate those tiny little moments, and this was one of them this week that harken to real life, where it's like those air ducts are not meant for people's weight.
Yeah.
And that's a very true to life thing. It's like, no, you just because you might be able to fit in there doesn't mean it can support your weight.
Okay, so I know it wasn't supposed to be funny, but the scene where you heard the vent collapse and the scream, I kind of laughed at that.
You know what? Okay, I will say this. You know what I thought? I thought when she fell, that somehow when Tate and Holly were walking, that she was gonna fall in front of them. Like I was like bracing myself because I was like, okay, they're gonna walk out, they're gonna talk in 3, 2, and I kept expecting boom. but it didn't happen. I don't even know where she ended up.
I don't think anyone does.
The other thing that made me chuckle was Rafe's reaction when he came in. And
Ari,
I'm so glad you're okay.
No, mine was
It's like, was that the last scene they shot that day? And it was just like everything was gone.
Mine was him yelling for Ari while she was stuck, hearing that it broke, and he's still just like,
what happened?
Like at any point, are you going to be like, go in more and like look around? But that's the interesting thing. There's always like this delayed reaction. Like even going back to, remember when Marlena collapsed in the courtroom, and there was like a worry in Abe's voice, like Marlena, and everyone just went. And I'm like,
and then the next scene, they were in the hospital. Everything had happened, and she was awakened with Sarah.
Yeah,
it was a bit clunky.
Yeah,
a little bit. What else?
He stole the necklace from Gwen.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah, I was somewhat on her side about keeping it, but then I was also like, just give it back.
Yeah, she don't need
Buy another necklace with your gay husband's money.
Yeah. The interaction between Gabby and Gwen at the end of the week was interesting for me in terms of, one, it was a recap of their history, because these two actually did have a double wedding once upon a time. And then it was also a recap of like, I thought that they were adversaries. I guess I didn't think they hated each other that much. It seemed
I was trying to remember the history.
I know, it took me a minute to remember. I was like, wait, why are they fighting? And I was like, I was like, Jake was so long ago. It was
Jake was. That's the reason I blocked it out, because
their adversarial relationship to me did not need to be quite that explicit, because you cannot like someone versus like hating them, and they don't have that. It's like they have maybe a prickly relationship at most to me. Yeah. I think it was just a bit much this week.
I kind of agree. When I think back, it was like, it felt like they picked up from like their last fight, which was probably 5 years ago. It's like, you're still like arguing about this, or like there's still enough rage in you to like go at each other. I honestly was expecting them to like come together and like laugh off Jake as like a silly thing. Like, oh, can you believe we like fought over that, or how stupid were we? Yeah. And then like I feel like those two would kind of be friends. So we'll see how long they take this like this animosity between them. But I don't know. I kind of like them better as friends or frenemies.
Yeah, it would be different if it was Abigail in this scenario, because remember, once upon a time, Gabby had to talk Abigail off the ledge, because remember she kidnapped Gwen and was going to shoot her up.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's right. Secret.
Yeah, and Gabby was the one who had to say, "Girl, you're crazy."
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
I wonder if it's going to be.
Was she lying?
If what you're saying about Gabby and Gwen like coming together, and we haven't talked about this, there's another storyline going on.
Yeah,
that Gwen may become involved in with the other two Demira. Like now that she's in the Demira house, or Gabby may fake befriend her.
Yeah,
because of because of what else is happening.
Yeah, it's interesting to see the dynamics of who. I think it's just rehashing Gwen's history is kind of off kilter, because it feels like we did just see Emily. She was just not Gwen.
Oh my God, I forgot.
So then we have to go back and realize, Gwen actually has been gone a while.
Yeah.
She has, but she has an air about her that is very much like, I can do what I want. I'm a Von Marshner with money. Do you have money? You look poor. Poor.
Had the money. Who's not poor people around.
And then quickly, there's a little something going on with Javi. People are picking up on that. Javi seems to have some kind of history that he is not telling Leo about, because Leo had that scene where he's late, where they met Gwen. He learned more about his history, and then Leo's now talking to him about, why he felt he needed to help Doug and all that. And then there was that moment where he looked at Javi and was talking about, well, I'm an open book, and then Javi very much is like,
well, speaking of,
I am not.
You better open your book so that way you ain't mad.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, that was that. Bye, Doug.
Mm-hmm.
Come back. And it's hard to say goodbye, my love. Hard to see you cry, my love. Okay. Well, before we get into our tidbits, those were your top storylines on Days. And now we got to head into our tidbits. But before we do, just a quick reminder, y'all, follow us on social media. Dishin Days Show on Facebook and Dishin Days on Instagram, Twitter, X, and Threads. Also, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you would like to be a part of our members only page, go ahead and join it on our YouTube channel. Become an exclusive member of our exclusive members page where you can get a whole bunch of stuff. Also, make sure you find us on your favorite podcast station. We're on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and Spotify. So find us over there if you can't watch us live. But why would you not want to watch us live? Hello, have you seen these faces? Okay. Also, make sure you show some love to our former co-host and my chocolate twin, James Lott Jr., over at JLJ Media on YouTube and where all podcasts can be found. Now let's head on over into our tidbits so we can wrap this mother trucker up. Our haunting past.
I'm so sorry. I got ahead of myself. I did not see that in the tidbits. Sorry.
Okay.
I had jumped ahead to number 3.
Didn't see the tidbits.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The tidbit.
The tid and the bit. Wow. Little Miss Rachel with Sarah talking about, I think Mackenzie would be a wonderful name.
Oh my gosh.
Did anyone else think she was trolling her? I was like, something's not right.
Devil woman.
I didn't get the whole, I just thought of the name or something. I was like, does she know more than she says? I'm wondering. It could go either way with Rachel.
I felt like it was an unexpected connection again, because her and Rachel have this bond that we all know where it could possibly stem from. But when she said Mackenzie, I was like,
oh dear.
Yeah. I don't know. I was like, with Rachel, I don't know. I was like, is she feeling things out? Is she trolling? Is she not trolling in a bad way, but kind of hinting at something?
That's the thing with any other kid, you might think it was a coincidence, but this is Rachel, so you don't ever know.
No.
Then we got some softening with Leo and Gwen a little bit.
I mean, it's like, okay, girl, listen. I know that there were some stunt shows and shenanigans, but it's not really all Leo's fault. Let's be clear. But also, you got the better end of the stick because you got all the money. Mm-hmm. Can we just move on?
Gwen had a reaction when Leo mentioned the Dear John letter that, what's his face? I can't remember his name now. Dimitri wrote him. She had a reaction and kind of sidestepped talking about that. And then there was another moment where they were talking about him. And I was like, is she stashing him somewhere? Or does she know where, or did she facilitate
the letter?
Well, yeah, I'm wondering if either she knows where Dimitri is, or if she facilitated the breakup with Leo, or something, and then I'm like, oh, are we gonna get Dimitri back at some point?
Well, there's a lot of unanswered questions, and I didn't necessarily think that there was a connection between these two until the conversation between Gabby and Gwen came up. And then I realized that not only are both of their, one current husband and one ex-husband missing, they were both kidnapped by mommy. Or one was kidnapped by mommy. One in my mind, I think, was taken by mommy. We don't know where he is. We don't know where Dimitri is in the world. We know that Vivian has Stefan somewhere. Supposedly, Vivian took Stefan to Alemania. We have no confirmation if he is geologically there. Dimitri, upon his release from prison, was supposed to be in Alemania, but Gwen says she saw neither one of them there. And she was there now, timeline-wise, she would have been there for about 2 years.
Well, I do think it's suspicious too, and I do think this is building to something, because we also they've been bringing up how this letter, who was it? I think Leo even said, like, the letter didn't sound like him. It sounded like someone else, or he didn't specifically say someone else wrote it, but he said it sounded like maybe a 5-year-old wrote it or whatever, sort of hinting that someone else may have penned it. I can't remember. I thought it was you, Michael, who originally said that when it first happened, that Megan took him. Was it you?
Maybe.
I think you're the one who actually said that a couple years ago, and we were like, oh, maybe that it wasn't actually written by him when it first came out. So I'm thinking there's some validity to that. I think something is going on with Dimitri, and he's not the one who broke this off with Leo. I don't know if it was Megan. I don't know if it's Gwen who has something to do with it, but I think they're hinting at there's something fishy about this, because it's come up a lot now.
Yeah, but there's definitely something fishy going on, but I didn't previously consider Gwen. Upon hearing Michael's reasoning, I think that maybe she might have something to do with it, because I don't see Megan Hathaway allowing Gwen to abscond with the Von Leuschner fortune.
Well, if Gwen gave her a cut, she could, because Dimitri may not have gotten it anyway. Remember, that was the discrepancy on whether or not he was going to get the money. So if Gwen, if the agreement is keep him occupied and, I'll cut you a check, maybe. Yeah.
Sorry.
Some people just have too much time on their hands. Anyways,
I'll have to.
There was a comment that we had to, and then we started getting texts about the comment, and it's taken care of.
I missed it.
Oh, you missed the comment?
Put it in the chat. So
you're being too loud. No, I'm sorry. You were annoying. I was boring, and Araceli was too loud. Justin, you didn't register on this person.
I'm not even drinking today.
No, it was it was some, hater. We don't.
I wouldn't have removed him.
No, I do. I'm flushing.
I would have let him enjoy.
There was a turd in the bottom of the bowl that needed to be flushed.
Although I did, never mind. Anyway, whatever, people. I just don't have time for it. My mental capacity is already at its highest because Mercury decided to be in a microwave.
Yeah. In any case, what do we think? We'll get, all these other people will get info on downline, but I didn't think that somebody that we would have to be worried about would be Javi.
I think we've kind of hinted at, or not hinted, but we've kind of questioned that from the beginning, how we don't know anything about his past. Mm-hmm. The relationship has been going very fast. Mm-hmm. And I feel like we even mentioned it, I think it was last week with the picture, when he quickly brought out that picture the first time, we were like, well, whose baby is that? So I don't know, maybe this is a storyline they're going down where we finally get we got a little bit of his work history with the firefighting stuff, but that's it. I mean, for someone who has constant conversations with Leo about it, it's due.
The
Yeah.
personal life stuff still,
Yeah.
question
Yeah.
mark.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's move on to our next tidbit, which is secret agent man. Gabby and Tony working together to take down Philip and Xander. Can we also start off with the fact that Johnny still has a job, even though he's on trial for
He's
potential
never
murder?
at work.
I know.
God.
Literally, he's been at work for 5 minutes to shoot that video with. I laughed at the camera. I was like, Titan doesn't have a better camera than that, but whatever.
No.
But yeah, every day he's at home and being like, well, not going to work today. Well, didn't go to, and I'm like, I'd get fired if that were.
This man has
But they're having
horrible
mercy on him.
employment history.
They're having mercy on him. So
must be nice to have money. You don't have to worry about things like getting fired, I guess.
Guess not. But this is interesting with Tony and Gabby. I like though that she was kind of like, Xander showed me a lot of compassion, so I don't want to like,
For all of
partake
2
in that.
seconds.
Yeah. And then it was like,
on one hand, I think it's like a little too good to be true, but I do appreciate the fact that at least Tony is acknowledging, one, how long she was a Demira, two, the fact that she ran Demira before, and everyone was kind of on board for the most part. So like, part of me is like, is this like a good idea really? Are we trusting Tony here? Is there like some shadiness in back, or does he just really want it in the family and is like, my brothers are idiots, they're not wanting, EJ's out, Chat doesn't want anything to do with it, Kristen is a lost cause, like, should next best person is Gabby, at least she's kindred to being a Demira. I don't know. And he does want a little, he wants to be an advisor, which is okay, but I don't know, there's something about this that I'm like,
I think Gabby has has always had a great business sense. And I think people don't see that. Yeah.
I mean, Gabby's whole reasoning for agreeing to Tony's terms, I think at its core is that
she wants to protect Gabby's sheep.
Well, no, deeper than that, why she can make the deal with Tony in particular is because Tony, as far as Damaris go, Tony is the trustworthy one. But I feel like Tony is up to something.
No, man.
I'm getting a vibe from Tony, like, I think surface-wise, I think his terms are fair, and I believe him when he says he doesn't want to be,
CEO.
He never wants to be CEO, he never wants to be the head of the company, he never wants to be telling people what to do, but I don't know, there's just something.
There's another motive here.
Yeah, something for me is just.
Can we please not have another? Oh, it's actually Andre.
I hope not. I think hopefully we're done with that.
No, I don't think so.
Are we ever done?
Let it be Tony. Let Tony is allowed to be a little bit diabolical.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
Like it doesn't have to be just like when Marlena does something cross, it's because she's possessed or because she was drugged or because blah, blah, blah. Like let some of these characters branch out of what their personality is and don't make it, oh, it's someone else or it's because of extenuating circumstances.
Yeah. I mean, Tony's also, his history, he's not a saint. I mean, he's not as bad as Andre, but he's been diabolical before and menacing and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah.
All right. Well, we'll see how that works out. Who's going to turn on who first? Who's going to be a faithful and who's going to be a traitor?
Bring in Chriselle. Oh, wait, she didn't host it. She was on it.
Yeah, she was on it. Alan Cumming.
Oh, bring in Alan Cumming. You can, Tony. You met him.
I know. Yeah.
Was he at your one of your shows?
Yeah, he came to drag me to dinner.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Bimby. Bimby's like, baby, you going over time.
Oh, God. Sorry, Bimby. We're hurrying up.
Let's move on to our next tidbit, which is strike a deal. Oh.
My bad.
There we go. This is the first time I've seen a bit of kindness between Sarah and Xander, and I actually appreciate it. It feels like the love is not lost, although in the same breath, it's like, well, if we're gonna have a formal agreement, we got to separate. I'm like, y'all just don't want this. Y'all don't want this couple to survive.
They can't. Like, looking back, like the writing has been on the wall for a long time. As much as we want to root for this couple, they have proven themselves untrustworthy to each other, unfortunately. Like, they're if they were to try to save it and go to therapy, like, you know, it unfortunately they just created this situation. It's not in my mind, that kind of marriage would not be survivable.
I think it's telling, though, that it's not divorce, it's a separation, and they're making that distinction. So I feel like they're at least still holding on to some hope that they're getting married. Otherwise, it would be, we're getting divorced or I'm divorcing you. Like, neither one of them has come up with that first or said anything to that. So I think there's some hope there, at least for the characters. They don't want to take that step as much as even they've been at each other's throats. They're like, you know, we haven't gotten to that point yet. So.
True.
The situation shouldn't have gotten to this point.
No. But this is the first week that they're actually taking appropriate steps for their own health, for the sake of their marriage, whatever state it may be in, for the sake of their daughter. These are appropriate steps.
Mature steps. Yes.
Mature steps. And anger management therapy, while Sarah definitely has her own agenda for it, I do think it is going to be very beneficial for Xander, because I think it will help him get to the root of a lot of his anger and what triggers him. What are his triggers, and how can he temper that down and come to terms with that so that he's not so quick to anger.
Yeah.
We know his history, like with his mom and with Victor, but I feel like Xander has a kind of past that can still be growed. That's not right. Can still grow a little bit, if that makes sense. Like, they can die if they continue with this, and he does go to therapy. They can dive into. We can make more discoveries about Xander's past. Like, there's not like. It's not like a John Black character where they delved into his past so much where it got to the point where it's like, we know his history. With Xander, there's still some maybe question marks to be explored. So
possibly, but I don't think that we necessarily need to discover something new about Xander, because what we know so far about his past is already rife with possibility, because just because we know it and just because he's acknowledged it doesn't equate with coming to terms with his past. You know, saying it out loud doesn't mean, oh, it's over and I've gotten over it, in other words.
Right.
No, but I just see potential in that. Just him. Yeah. Him looking into why he is the way he is. Like, I feel like there's a potential and a good story for that.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, last but not least, in our tidbit, a hostile work environment, which can sometimes be this environment.
Which is always the environment that EJ works in.
EJ needs to get somewhere and sit down. Like, okay, bro, you bought the hospital, great, but you won't get to come in and act like suddenly you have a PhD in hospitalness.
Hospital management.
It's like, girl,
trying to take Kayla's office.
Right. Like, that could have been a Zoom. You could have met in the Horton Town Square.
Yep.
You could have met. Don't they have a conference room in the hospital? You can use the conference room.
They couldn't have used that entire floor that they were using for a certain show. What'd they do with that floor? Did they turn it back into a working floor?
Deleted it.
Guess so. I'll be honest.
Cut it off.
This whole scene confused me because the back and forth between Kayla and EJ, one, it went on way longer than it needed to. Two, it left me confused. Like, did Kayla resign or did she not?
No, she didn't.
No, she didn't.
Because she backed down. Because Kayla was like, baby, listen, you ain't about to come in here and run this. I'm chief of staff. You may own this, but this hospital is going to be ran like I want it to be. And if you can't take that, baby, take this badge. It's
but
my
then
resignation.
you said, okay, so should I set up in my office? And so it was just all.
I think in that moment, EJ realized, okay, let me keep it cute. Is it okay if I use your office? That was his way of, and that's why she picked up the badge and was basically like,
yeah,
and was like, because she was like, baby, I can retire today and be fine. Okay, my man got 2 jobs. Okay.
Yeah, sure. It's his retirement she's living off of.
That was just a callback to Everybody Hates Chris.
Mm-hmm.
When Rochelle would always be like, I don't need this. My man got 2 jobs.
Okay, yeah, because I was gonna say I'm not sure that Steve is the one who has the hefty retirement package.
That's why I had to explain it, because you were gonna come in with commentary that was gonna be wrong. And I was like, let me explain the joke, because new material. And then announced Stephanie is over PR, which I mean, I like Stephanie said last week, like, I appreciate what she was saying is like, listen, I can be a part of it to kind of like keep him on track. So
I like it just because it's like these two came onto the show together, but for 15 years ago, we haven't seen them. Well, a little bit, maybe like 10 years ago when Shelley was playing Stephanie, but they have such a rich history themselves. I feel like there's some stuff to explore with them, which I think could be interesting.
He did once lock her in a morgue.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, outside of that. But for 2 characters who came in, they sort of came in together.
Yeah.
We knew that they were rivals back then, and then they sort of like split them up, and they put EJ with Sammy, and they put her with the older, the younger 20-somethings, and that was it.
Oh wait, they were rivals when they were race car drivers.
Race car drivers, yeah. They came on the show together as rivals, yeah.
Yeah, way in the beginning.
Oh yeah, and she was a redhead. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
But wait, what do we think the original excerpt that Stephanie doesn't want out there? What do we who do we think it's inspired by?
Something that she did.
But I'm not necessarily sure it's something that she did. I think she pulled from somebody else, from somebody in her family.
I think it's something that she did.
I immediately thought Philip, but then I was like, why the big deal? But it seems like, but to your case, it may have been someone else's, because she seems really reticent about it. So I was like, oh, is it really just something she did with Philip? Or
like maybe she put in one too many details about someone else's life that she's not supposed to know about, kind of a thing.
Yeah, that could be it.
Something that she did. Yep. All right. Well, hopefully the hostile work environment becomes non-hostile. But now, ladies and gentlemen, that has been your week of days. And now it's time to get on with our segments. And we're going to start with mine, which is Tony's official 3 Snaps Award. All right, now listen. My 3 snaps goes to Kayla Johnson, Mary Beth Evans, because baby, she was not playing about that resignation. She said, you're not about to come up in this office and try to act like, I know you threw your money around to get this hospital. But let's not forget, I am chief of staff, Kayla Johnson. What are your credentials? Because I can retire today and be out. Oh, okay. Yes. I was living for all of that. When she snatched that badge off, and she had slid it on that desk and looked back at him, I was like, Kayla does not give 2 about an EJ Demera. And when he backed down and she snatched it back and went back to work, I said, you better work. So for those reasons, Chief of Staff, Kayla Johnson, Mary Beth Evans, you get Tony's official 3 Snaps Award. Oh, snap. And now it's time for Caption That.
This week's Caption That photo comes courtesy of the awkward Doug and Holly hug, reminiscent of the Nicole and Xander photo, and the look on her face was like mother, like daughter. This week's caption goes to James Robinson on Twitter with James Robinson on Instagram with his caption, Holly later that day, where's my wallet? Honorable mention to Holly herself, Ashley Pazemis, with her caption, me seeing those 6 a.m. work call times. And honorable mention to Jerry Jimenez, who replied to that comment with same, I don't know what, same closed eyes emoji.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
Because those call times are early. You got to wake up at 3 a.m. to get there.
You got to be there at 6.
At 6.
That's one of those times where you roll out of bed, you spramp a little bit, and just what they get is what they get.
Yeah, it's like, but luckily with a job like that, it's like you can just roll out of bed, grab your bag, and just head out the door.
Yeah.
It's like I'll do everything
happens when you get there.
Yeah, yeah.
So thanks all, and thank you, Sherry and Ashley, for playing along.
Yes,
and that has been great this week. I mean, these past a few weeks.
And that was
Caption that.
And now it's time to go back to
those were the days.
All right, guys, taking you back to July 21st, 1997, when Roman Brady, in the form of Josh Taylor, returned to Salem after being presumed missing. He, of course, was brought back to Salem courtesy of Kristen DeMira. This was sort of her last-ditch effort to break up John and Marlena after the Susan sort of debacle here. And then we see this is the introduction of Josh Taylor's version of Roman. And if you're a paid member, I did a Those Were Days extended specifically on the 3 Romans over the last 40-something years and how each of them brought something new and different to the role. So yeah, just kind of wanted to celebrate that and celebrate Josh Taylor. I think does not get enough credit, who actually has been playing Roman a majority of those 40-something years, more so than the other 2 actors combined. So yeah, just wanted to bring it back to July 21st, 1997, when Josh Taylor stepped into the role of Roman Brady.
And now,
those were the days.
And
it's Kristen's smile, like surprise, surprise, surprise. Surprise, surprise.
You thought I was out, and I brought guess who?
Oh, and we definitely did turn that into an art form.
Yeah,
that just shit ass grin. Yeah,
it was very much like, oh, you thought y'all was about to get mad?
Yeah, right.
Surprise, surprise. And now it's time for
It's a Gift.
And this week's It's a Gift goes to Carson Boatman playing Johnny DeMera in his reaction to realizing that Grandma Susan is going to be his savior. This is also my reaction to Johnny DeMera thinking that after this trial, he will still have a job. Yes.
This is also my reaction to Mercury's retrograde. Oh, you're here. Great. All right. Love that.
Love that for you.
Mm-hmm.
And that was
It's a Gift.
And now it's time for News and Gossip.
All right, starting off with a big congratulations to our Days family. They have, if you haven't heard, they have been renewed for another 2 years, bringing it to their 62nd and 63rd season. And with their very early taping schedule, we will now have shows into 2028 because of that. So big congrats to Days on securing another renewal for another 2 years. So yay. Everyone has jobs, including us.
Yay! That was actually my reaction, was that, hey, I still have this position for at least another 4 years. Yay. All right. Next up, we've got lots of birthdays. Were celebrated this week. So shout outs to Lindsay Godfrey, our very own
Lucas Adams?
No, and Lucas Adams. Sorry, I lost my train of thought for a second. You know, that happens. And Lucas Adams. And then we have today is our birthday twins, as I like to call them, Eric Martzoff and Martha Madison. Happy birthday to all who are celebrating. I hope you have a fabulous time. And another person who recently celebrated her 40th birthday in May, Miss Emily O'Brien, got us a sneak behind the scenes peek at her costume ball birthday party. She decided to do it up for her 40th, and she celebrated with a big costume party going back to the 1800s as the Queen of Versailles. Those in attendance from our Days family were Paul Telfer, Lindsay Godfrey, Tamara Braun, Stacey Hyduke, and Peter Porte. It's a fabulous video. I can't imagine the production detail that went into this. Even though it's a backyard party, the detail is just... So go check out the birthday video on Emily's Instagram at mroya.
Yeah, next up, we have some news from friend to show, Miss Judy Evans. She's embarking on a brand new sort of side career hustle here. She is entering into the world of stand-up comedy. She took a risk and did an open mic a few weeks ago and now has entered a new comedy competition. So this Wednesday, if you are in LA and in need of some laughs, she is participating in a comedy competition at Flapper Comedy Club this Wednesday, July 30th here in LA. Tickets and info, you can go to Judy's bio on her Instagram at Judy Evans Official. I'm sure she will appreciate, the support there.
And then next up, we've got some upcoming days for the Day Players. The Day Players continuing their 2025 tour. Their first big show coming up will be this coming Friday, August 1st, here in Glendale, California.
Glendale?
Every time. Yes. Yes, Glendale. Then they have a big show scheduled in Toronto, September 6th, with dates following in Cedar Rapids, Des Moines, and Omaha. For tickets and information, go to thedayplayersband.com.
And of course, we have our Starstruck fan events. We have the one happening next Sunday, August 3rd in Long Beach. Stars in attendance, Teo Penglis, Leighton Hunley, Susan Hayes, Brian DiTillo, and Suzanne Rogers. I believe there may be a couple of tickets still available. They were sort of winding down this week. If interested, you can DM at StarstruckFan2 or email starstruckfans@aol.com. For information in those last couple tickets if interested. Then, of course, we have the Orlando one that is happening now, rescheduled to September 19th through the 21st that weekend. Those intended, Stacey Hyduke, Casey Moss, Sherry Jimenez, Paul Telfer, Lindsay Godfrey, Matt Ashford, and Brian DiTillo. And then we have a save the date for a fan event happening in Stone Mountain Park in Georgia for later on this year, the weekend of December 13th through 14th. For that one, talent and details are coming soon. And tickets and information, you can go to starstruckfanevents.com.
Yes, and then we have our events through Star Image Entertainment. First up, it will be this Wednesday, July 30th. This is a Passions Q&A cocktail Zoom with Galen Gehring and his Passions co-star, Mackenzie Westmore. Then it will be the big show, which the Day Players will be partnered with Star Image for. That'll be in Toronto, September 6th. And then in October 4th and 5th, specifically at the Holiday Inn Nashville Downtown Stadium, is the Days of Our Lives in Nashville event. So that's a big one for all of you people in the area. If you want to go to any of these events, go to eventbrite.com/Star Image Entertainment.
And last but not least, we have our Samantha and Friends events. First, starting off the Haunted Mansion one, the weekend of September 13th through 14th. And again, as we said, they added Caroline Hennessy and Camilla Banos to the roster. Then we have the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, the weekend of May 2nd and 3rd. That lineup has been announced, you can see. And then for a sort of save the date, talent and details to come soon, we have the Arabian Nights one, which is happening next year, the weekend of September 12th and 13th of 2026. All tickets and info, you can go to samanthasfriends.org.
Yeah.
And that was...
News and gossip.
And now it's time to find out what's coming up this week on Peacock's Days of Our Lives.
Next week, it's all strange vibes.
Mother fancies herself a medium. You talk to the dead?
I sure do. I had a dream God being the queen of the night.
Strained relationships.
Xander and I made a decision about our marriage.
I stumbled on something that could affect Stephanie.
How bad is it? We fight fire with fire.
We fight fire with awesome.
And that's only the beginning.
There's a reason Stephanie's known as the Phoenix.
That is very, very bad. She said that I was ill. Body, mind, and soul.
All new Days of Our Lives only on
Body and soul, huh?
Oh,
I know I didn't get it.
The return of Body and Soul, y'all.
No.
Please.
So we just got renewed. We can
Let's do possession number 3 before body and soul number 2. Body and soul number 2. Get it? It was shit.
Oh.
Anyway.
Well, that has been Dishin Days, everybody. Before we head out, Michael Mattis, where can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram and X at MLMattis or MLM Images LA.
Justin Lee Hareld.
Find me on Instagram at Justin Lee Hareld.
Araceli Aviles.
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at TA323 Araceli.
And you guys can find us at Dishin Day Show on. Oh well, you can find me on all social media platforms at Lounging with Tony, and you can find us at Dishin Day Show on Facebook and Dishin Days on Instagram, Twitter, X, and Threads. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Special shout out to Rachel Boyd, Sophia Choi for coming on and chit-chatting with us, all things Sophia. Hey, we will be back here next Sunday to give you another full dish of this week's episodes of Peacock's exclusive #1 award-winning hit soap opera Days of Our Lives. Thank you guys again for tuning in. And as always, have a wonderful week. Enjoy your Sunday and join us next week. Tell a friend. Y'all come on in now. You hear? Have a great week, everyone. Bye.